Google has been on an absolute roll. We're covering the 10 best tools and features you need to know, plus some hidden bonuses most people are completely missing. The last one is a pro level bonus, probably just above NotebookLM for me. Let's start where every great project begins, the research. This might be hidden for you, but to create custom visual interactive experiences in AI mode, go to google.com and enable AI mode. And then at the top menu here, there's a drop down. Make sure you select thinking with generative layouts. Let's try asking it to show us how bullet trains work. And while that's running, this example, I asked it to show me the offensive and defensive rankings for Super Bowl teams since 2000. So the opening paragraph, and here's a data visualization, a chart where we can hover over these data points. And this compares the offensive and defensive rankings for the Super Bowl winners since 2000. And then there's a data table showing you the winners and the losers for each Super Bowl for the time frame. It shows their offensive and defensive rankings and then the final score. And if we scroll down, it lists the notable extremes and outliers. Back to our bullet train example, it gives us this opening paragraph and this cool animation with this legend, as well as settings that we can configure. So we can increase the speed or decrease the speed, enable the levitation mode, show propulsion vectors, start, stop, reset. And then it gives us sections like physics of speed and aerodynamics, propulsion, and this table that compares the two different methods. Very cool. Another free experiment Google is running in the Gemini app is with visual layout. It creates magazine-style experiences where you can engage with elements just by clicking on them without the need to submit more text prompts. So in the Gemini web app, we have the model set to Gemini 3, and then for the tools, we'll select visual layout. You can see that it's an experiment here, and we'll use this prompt to create a travel itinerary next year for cities hosting World Cup games to FIFA's current top 15 ranked men's teams. This took Gemini 3 15 to 20 seconds to generate. We have a header here with an overview for the trip itinerary. We have the top 15 ranked teams. This is correct. There's the host cities in the US, Mexico, and Canada, and then the 3-day regional itineraries. You can click through these different tabs. So for each of these tabs, each of these cities, take a look at the morning, afternoon, and evening ideas. And then you can choose the route or the region that you're most interested in. There's some other settings that you can toggle, like the duration for the trip, or if we want a more relaxed route or a more fast-paced itinerary. And once we have those set, you can click on submit, or you can just click on one of these days and it'll respond. Here it gave us the day one icons of the harbor and the Hudson for New York. So you can click through all the attractions. I just clicked on this Statue of Liberty card here. It tells you the time, the key focus, and gives you tips. So there's a bunch of travel information, anything you need to know about prohibited items, IDs, a lot of information here. You can learn about history, learn about statistics, or you can use it for event planning or find your fashion statement. They haven't rolled it out to all free users, so if you don't see it, try creating another account. This NotebookLM update will cut hours from your research time. Google released Deep Research. It'll let you upload more source types, including spreadsheets and images, and keep your research from becoming disorganized. This saves a few clicks. You don't have to go back and forth between Gemini, ChatGPT, Perplexity, but you can just do it all right here. Fast Research, finish the process within 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds at the most. Deep Research takes a little bit more time. The time it takes for it to complete the research might vary depending on the topic, but this completed the research within 4 or 5 minutes. And we can see a summary of the research here. There's a PDF with 42 sources discovered. So let's click on View to see what it gives us. There's a complete report here with the number of sources cited in the report. So you can vet the resources by clicking on that icon to open it in a new tab. So you can look through the content and determine if this is actually what you want. It's even picked up YouTube videos and PDFs. Uncheck any content sources that you don't want or just import all of them. You can hide the sources so we can see the actual PDF report. There's an executive summary, tables, different sections, a comprehensive report for you to review and import into your sources. We can ask this question down here and it comes up with the answer for us, citing all the sources. Actually, if we click on our strategic report and look through it, it even cites where it came up with the information. With all these references using numbers in the brackets, you can scroll all the way down to the bottom of the report and it lists all the sources that it used, so you can match them with a number and click on any of the links if you want to find more. You can also create other materials in the studio frame on the right here. If you're tired of looking at a screen or pages of information, create an audio overview, download it and bring it with you, listen to it on the go. To customize the audio overview, click on the writing utensil and add any instructions you want in the bottom field here, and then click on generate. Once NotebookLM finishes generating the audio overview, you can just play the audio overview, or you can use the interactive mode with this hand waving motion. So to use this, just play the audio and then you can click on this join button down here and ask questions about the deep research report and engage.
If you just, look at the raw statistics. Oh, hey, I think our listeners got something to say.
Do I actually need a full website or can I just use a microsite?
Technically, you could start with a microsite or even just a strong link in bio tool.
But if you are serious about building what we call a real, defensible digital media business,
And the answer is a resounding yes. You absolutely need an owned website.
Okay, that's a great answer. Another thing you can do is ask NotebookLM to create an SOP checklist for repeatable tasks. That is standard operating procedures. So anything you need to do over and over again, NotebookLM will create a checklist for you. If you want to create more visual content for learning or sharing, there are options for video,
NotebookLM just got a huge upgrade research powerhouse.
infographics that pull information from your sources for standalone visuals, and slide decks that can create diagrams, tables, and other visuals. The next set of tools will allow you to create assets and build automated workflows. In Gemini, there's a tool called Gems that allow you to build AI-powered mini apps for custom reusable workflows. We'll start by clicking on this new gem button, and here's where you can describe the app that you want to build. So we'll put in our prompt and it'll begin vibe coding. Here we're going to create an app that builds us a detailed marketing campaign brief. The icons indicate what kind of step or what kind of tools the app uses. We'll dig more into that as we look at the advanced editor. But let's go through this example here and we'll just see how it works. Here we use Blue Sky for marketers and content creators. And this is pretty cool. It gives us a progress update with the percentages down here below. We can also see the app working through each step. From first glance at the scroll bar, it looks like a pretty detailed report. It has some benefits, 6-month campaign goals, demographics, specific needs, competitive landscape, key messaging points, marketing, tactics, user acquisition, measurement and KPIs, and then next steps. If you want to edit any of these steps, you can prompt it and submit what your requests are. If you want more control over the customization, click on the advanced editor and it'll show you the entire layout of the workflow that includes all these nodes. We can see there are different types of nodes up here that you can add or assets you can add. There's the user input, the AI-powered generations, and the output. If we wanted to turn the notes for the AI-generated output for marketing goals and target audience into user inputs, we'd click on the user input from the top toolbar. In the right panel here, we'd say, describe your marketing goals. And then we could drag that over to the left, just below the product service description, and then create a node that leads to this node that would synthesize the marketing brief. For any of the AI nodes, you can click on this drop down in the right panel to choose from any of the AI models available or AI functionality like generating images, generating video or speech. And there's also tools that you can choose from like web search, Google Maps search, web page search, weather, etc. You can also ask Gemini for suggestions, configure advanced settings down at the bottom with system instructions, and rename the node if you wish. Preview it to see your updates, look at the console as you're working through the app, and customize the theme. In the future, if you want to find your gems or your apps and workflows, you can go to opal.google, or in Gemini, in the left navigation, click on Gems. Next free Google AI tool is very compelling and has a lot of potential. It's a concept or an idea board that could become a hub for content creation and marketing campaigns. It's called Mixboard, and it's much more than just a visual board. You can create a board or a project, and here you can see the examples, the kind of boards that you can create. But for our example, we're going to use this prompt. You can add or upload other documents, images, PDFs, etc. We asked it for content on the target audience, the value proposition, and benefits to users. But what we also want is key points for the value proposition and benefits. If you want to edit any of these images, just hover over the one you want to edit, click on the writing utensil in the top right corner, edit annotations. You'll see the colors and these tools on the right side. We'll circle these patrons, click on save at the bottom, and click on the image. And then at the bottom field here, we'll type use diverse patrons. Here's the new image that it created for us. Let's unlock the transformation for the presentation. We'll choose to output a visual deck. What kind of story do we want to tell? For the custom style, let's use your marketing team. Scroll down and then click on transform. So this will take some time, but if we click on this top left expansion button, we can create another board that's associated with this board that we created. We can rename this board. Our link is ready. It only took about 4 minutes, but we'll click on that. The title page looks pretty good. This looks like a pretty good, clear presentation. It's got nice icons, clear points. You can download the whole presentation, or you can download specific slides and share it with others. We'll continue looking at free Google AI tools that not only help you streamline your processes, but also help you create. If you're a creator, if you're running the business, the marketing, you need to create. So these Google AI tools will help handle the heavy lifting for creativity and media generation. Look at these. You could use the product for live campaigns or production or deliverables. At the very least, these are high fidelity prototypes. Going through some examples, we'll start with a microsite like a link in bio page. So we'll click on Tools and Canvas, and then we'll use this prompt to create a responsive link in bio page with these links for website, YouTube, Instagram, and these other social media sites. Several seconds later, and look how clean this is. We have the profile pic with a border and a gradient color, our handle, and a quick bio. Then we have our links down here. If you hover over them, it has this effect. The links actually work. Click on them, and it brings you to the actual site. If you want to change anything, go down to the bottom right corner. You can click on the select and ask tool, select the element you want, and then ask Gemini to change it. Or you can make quick edits at the top here by clicking on code. We can change the text in line 103 to quick videos to grasp AI, and then go back up to the top menu, click on preview, and we can see that the text has been changed. When you use Canvas in an actual saved chat in Gemini, you can share a link to the page by clicking on this share button in the top right. Click on share again, and you can see the link that's been copied here. We can go to our social media profile. Here we'll at the link in Threads. Here's our link. Back on our profile, we can see our link here. So we'll click on it. As it loads, it'll bring up the profile here and all the links will work. So we can just test this out here ourselves. And if we want to see how it looks in mobile, we click on the developer tools to inspect everything, and this looks great. But you can also do the same with a full web page, like a landing page. You can see the copy and this modern design with these modern icons here. You can create slide decks in Gemini, giving it direction on content and style, and export it to Google Slides where you can make quicker edits. It'll also create infographics for you, and when you create Canvas apps, it gives you the option to incorporate Gemini AI features. So for example, when you engage with your app, it'll take the context of your engagement and provide more information based on what you're asking for.
Hours long. This spinning behemoth also deflects serious cosmic shrapnel.
To drive traffic to your apps and web pages, Google has an AI-powered marketing tool called Pomelli. It can help you build, create, and scale on-brand content to connect with your audiences. You can create images of different sizes and quick video clips. To start, it analyzes your website and extracts its business DNA. It pulls elements from your brand kit and business like images, fonts, colors, brand values, aesthetic, tone of voice, and other elements. Once it picks these up, you can customize it or you can make any edits to those elements, but you can begin to create assets for your marketing campaigns. It gives you suggestions to start off with that you can edit pretty quickly, or you can create new elements and new content. For example, we'll hover over this image here. We click on animate, so it begins creating a video clip. In the meantime, we'll click on this image and we'll edit the description. For the font size, let's increase this to 18 and then increase the height to 20. It provides the output pretty quickly. Going back to our campaign hub, we can preview this video that Pomelli created. It's a nice video with this animation for the text. We can download it by clicking on the three dots over here, or we can delete it. For the other assets, we can duplicate it, create one with the same size, or for different sizes, and download it as well. For more control over content and media generation with more editing flexibility, Google has a tool called Whisk that allows you to create images and animations with an image-first prompting approach. It gives you a better way to organize your projects with a library. Of course, you can start off with a text prompt, but you can also upload multiple images to prompt Whisk. I uploaded these images on the left as subjects for the image I want to generate. I have 7 figures here with different image styles like origami, figurine, and photorealistic. For the scene, I had this city view from a high-rise. I could define the style if I wanted to, but since I have so many subjects, I need to turn off the precise option, but I'm gonna go ahead and generate this. While that generates, I've used Whisk to create concepts for thumbnails, for header call to action images, and other media. It only takes a few seconds to generate, but as you can see, it generates 2 images at a time, so you can compare multiple images. If you click on an image, you can see the prompt here, so you can copy it or edit the prompt and generate another image. You can download these images or mark them as favorites. And so when you go to your library, you'll see your favorites at the top and the rest of your images below. To create digital experiences that are worthy of your target users, Google has a tool called Stitch to help you transform your ideas into UI designs for mobile and web apps. So when you have your idea, you can choose whether you want to create a mobile app or a desktop web app, and then paste in your prompt here. let it go to work. The great thing about Stitch is it'll give you some suggestions for key screens to build. So you can validate this, confirm it, or add more suggestions. And you can see Stitch is able to generate awesome, slick designs for these mockups. Remember, I give this a pretty simple 3-sentence prompt with 0 design guidance. But there are some pretty cool things you can do with this. You can generate variations of screens. If you select multiple screens, you can actually create a prototype, which will fire that up and then look at some of the other features. If you select a screen, you can generate a predictive heat map, see how users might interact with your screen. And it looks like the prototype is ready to go, so we can click on the interact option from the toolbar that pops up. And right in this screen here, you can interact with it and provide actual inputs. Export a single screen or select multiple screens and use the more option to export all the screens you want to another tool like AI Studio or Jules, and copy the prompt that you used and then click on Build with AI Studio at the bottom using its app builder to vibe code the tool. Speaking of AI Studio, this is probably my favorite tool. It's like the Gemini app, but it's more of a workspace where you can test AI models and build AI apps. It gives you access to Gemini models, including the flagship models and other Google AI models. I prefer this over the free Gemini app. It gives you access to vision with camera and live streaming inputs, screen sharing capabilities, with custom voice outputs, and its own vibe coding tool where you can incorporate Gemini AI capabilities. In each chat, you can easily configure the settings in the right panel here. Change the AI model that you're using in the chat, update the system instructions, save the system instructions, or use another one that you saved. Use an API key for higher quota, change the temperature, media resolution, set the budget for thinking, enable or disable any of these tools like grounded search, along with these advanced settings. One of the great things about AI Studio Chat is it gives you markers for each of the prompts you submitted. When you hover over it, it gives you a preview of the prompt submitted and it takes you right to the prompt. If you want to use the Google voice inputs or the live streaming capabilities, you can go in and test the voices available. Just click on any of these play icons to hear a preview.
Ready to build something awesome today?
What do you want to explore?
Some of the best features are with Gemini Live, where you can share your screen, asking Gemini to teach you how to use software, enabling your webcam, and talking to Gemini at the same time. Once I click on share screen, I choose what screen I want to share, enable the microphone at the bottom, and go to the screen and ask away. Could you explain what this Python code does?
Sure. The Google Colab notebook you shared shows how to use the Pomelli Gemma model with Keras to analyze images and answer questions about them. It covers installing the necessary libraries, loading the model, and generating outputs from image prompts.
One of my favorite parts of AI Studio is the app builder, where you can vibe code any idea and bring it to life. I'm just talking about using simple prompts like this one right here. Very simple prompt with several words to produce something on the right. Of course, I provided some feedback and suggestions. It also gives you its own suggestions here that you can add to your app. We can interact with it. It's functioning here. So let's just provide some inputs and see what it gives us. Washington, DC, minority, say profile. And it's actually generating some personalized ideas for us. We'll actually use one of the suggestions and click on Find Money, let it go to work. While it does that, you can click on the code if you want to edit the code directly, save some tokens. You can change the Gemini model that it uses right here and other components of the app. You can also create a fork or a copy to edit another version. You can look at the version history to see what's been changed, view the code differential. You can also download the app, save it to GitHub, deploy it with Google Cloud Platform, or share the app, publishing it, copying a link. So those are some of the best and free Google AI tools available. If you want to see a more detailed video on any of those, let me know in the comments. If you found this useful, like the video and leave a comment. If you want more content on AI, workflow automation, and analytics, subscribe to the channel.